about the need to manage minutes of players, particularly at this stage of the season. How is everyone from the weekend with a view to playing tomorrow? And the bigger picture, how are the likes of Igmani and Siala, who are both part of training today?
Who? Hamza, Igamane, and who else? You said?
Siala.
Clinton, yeah. No, it's a few questions in a row. First, we have one doubt towards tomorrow from the squad that was there in the weekend. That's Leon Balogun, who felt something at the end of the game. So he didn't train today. We will see how he's tomorrow. The rest, everybody came well out of the games. Of course, it's really short. Today was the second day, so it was really a very calm training. It's more recovery now because it's still 48 hours or less than 48 hours after a game, and it's about making the choices tomorrow with who to start and knowing for several positions that I need to change and who to put in that moment, and to make good decisions. What you need in the beginning of the game, what you need maybe at the end of the game. Also to think about overtimes, for example. That's also a possibility. So, interesting choices to make.
In the bigger picture of things, how...
Sorry, I didn't respond to your third question. So, Hamza and Clinton are... Clinton is training everything, and Hamza is doing parts of the training now with the group. So, step by step... He's going to the physical level that we need in the training and then later on in the games, but he's showing a lot of interesting things with the ball. What we saw also in the images that we saw from him in the games in Morocco. But he's settling in well. Also with the language, he's starting to learn his first English words, and he's feeling really happy and grateful to be here, and he's very determined to become a good player here.
Had a lot of discussions this summer about budgets and projects here and kind of long-term planning. How important is Champions League participation in making those things happen on schedule?
Yeah, it's not on schedule. I think it can faster things, make things faster. So it's not budgeted to go to the Champions League, and that's the best way. Because some teams have done it in the past, and they had really big financial problems out of that. So we cannot do that, clearly. So of course, if you can go to the Champions League, it will give another budget. Only thing is that it will be the last hours of the transfer market at that moment. But it would be an important thing. Maybe for now something, but for sure for the future windows for the club. So we do everything to succeed, but we know also, look at all the group of teams playing for that. There are a lot of teams in there with a bigger budget than ours. That's the reality. But we're gonna go really hard to qualify in that way. But let's first focus on the Kyiv game first, because we need to win that one first.
In terms of the game tomorrow night, that great last-minute goal you scored, getting the draw last week, do you feel you've got command of the tie? Do you feel that it's in your hands now with that late goal?
I don't think you have command of the tie. I think it's two teams really at the same level, where they have the advantage of playing longer together. But the team did really well. Our team did really well in Kyiv tactically, and it's not easy with new players, with the players coming back out of injury, with all the squad to be that good in that game. I was really pleased about that, and scoring the last minutes, it was a deserved goal. So at the end we had more shots on target than them in the game, and of course you want this goal faster, but there's also a really good goalkeeper on the other side who had who had a lot of international games also with Ukraine, so with a lot of experience. So he had a few really good saves. I think the header of Cyril in the second half was a very good header, far post, and it was a really top quality save also. So you need some luck in those moments.
Do you expect the game to differ much? Will your approach differ at all?
Yeah, we will do some different things we saw where we can hurt them with, and we put more focus on that. I don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe they're gonna wait more and sit more and count on the counter attacks, on the transitions. That I don't know, but we need to be prepared for the different scenarios. So it's a really good footballing team, like they showed against Partizan. I think that part we took out a lot with being good compact and with a good pressing as a team. But they are also really dangerous on set pieces, for sure, with Popov. And they're really good in the transitions also. So it's a team with a lot of experienced guys and young talents, and a team with a lot of experience in Europe also.
Obviously, you had your first game at Hampden at the weekend, but European nights at Ibrox under the lights, so famous, the atmosphere. What do you expect the atmosphere to be like on Tuesday night?
I hope like in Ibrox. I hope that, and that the fans feel already more at home after the first time. And the first time it's always like the first day in school. You feel a little bit uncomfortable. It will be now for a lot of people the second time in that way, and like this, that we can create an Ibrox atmosphere in Hampden also. It would be a huge achievement also from the fans to sit a little bit further away from the pitch, but still create the same atmosphere. So I hope they can get there, and we're gonna give everything on the pitch to that they are enthusiastic about things. That's our role to do also, of course. It's not a one-way street.
You spoke about possibly getting through the Champions League, Philippe, but what difference does it make to your transfer budget, even getting through to the next round?
Not super much, I think. So I don't think it will be a big difference, but I said it last time also, I'm not the accountant here in the club. I'm not the one looking, okay, we spent 200,000 there, and we get 100,000 there. We had really clear talks about that with a clear plan before we went in the transfer window. There are other people deciding now where to spend the money. Of course, I give priorities in positions. So in that way, I'm focused on that and on the team and on the staff and on making everything really good here and with the players available. And then to see if there are other names coming up that we look at them, look at their qualities and making choices in that way.
In terms of players leaving the squad, is Jose Cifuentes set to leave Rangers?
Yeah, I see read things in the newspapers also. I didn't hear anything that something is done with somebody, and that's a pity. Yeah? We have several here still in the building, or like Sifu not in the building, and because of that, it stops also to get other players. But for the moment, I didn't hear that somebody officially is going somewhere else.
Is that proving difficult or frustrating for you, trying to get players out so you can then get players in?
It's not the nicest thing, but you need to adapt. I told you I'm not the accountant, and the club don't ask me also to pay for everything, to pay the transfer. So I know my role in the story, and the role in the story is to get the best out of the squad that is here, and to make the squad better for the future, to make it better also that we have more players who have the capability to grow here and to be to gain interest from other clubs and to sell them for the future. So that plan is clear, and I know my role in that.
Philippe, there's been a number of incomings and going since the end of last season. Currently, do you think the squad is stronger than it was at the end of last season?
I don't want to make these comparisons now. Ask me this question not the 1st of September, give me a few days after.
Philippe, not just financially, but how important for you as a manager is it to get players out if they aren't wanting to stay at Rangers, just in terms of how it affects maybe the training pitch and the atmosphere? How important?
No, I cannot say that anybody affects the training pitch or the atmosphere, because then it's easy to put them out of a building also. That's not been the case. So everybody who's been here, who's been training here, was with the right attitude and also in the right way in the dressing room. I had a talk also with the captain group about that a while ago, that they had to keep an eye on that and give me signals if it's not the case, and it is not. So there are no problems around that.
Philippe, we spoke to Jack before your media conference, and we were asking him about the interest in him in the last transfer window, and he's told us that he's had discussions with the hierarchy. Both he and the hierarchy are on the same page in terms of his future being here. How reassuring is that for you to hear that?
No, it's important, and it shows also that we're on the good way, because people with that quality, and they feel like this story is not going the right way, they step out of the story and they will have several other opportunities. So Jack feels what's going on inside the building, what's going on inside the squad, how things are evolving here in every sense, things that fans cannot see because they only see the game and the result at the end, and you guys also. So it's a really big signal, I think, that somebody with after his season, somebody with his quality is saying that. I think it's a really symbolical thing.
Is Liam Kelly pushing him now after his arrival? Have you seen an uplift in Jack's performances with a new goalkeeper in the mix as well as Liam Kelly?
It's not like I seen suddenly now that Jack is 2 times better than he was last season. Would have been difficult, because then it would be really difficult to keep him. We would not have conceded 1 goal, not even the difficult own goals there, for example. No, it doesn't work that way. But Liam is already really important in the squad. He's very attentive in all the meetings. He's talking a lot with the players. He's helping the young guys with tactical things. So he's really, really involved in the story, and he's really somebody with a Rangers heart, and that you see.
Václav's journey showed really positive signs on Saturday. Is that the standard? Is that the quality of player you really want to bring to the club? More of his level? Yeah,
of course, but that's logical. You have ideas in your head how you want to play football, and he's the kind of player, the creative one, who can make the difference, and we need to raise our quality there. We spoke a lot about efficiency last season, and we're working hard on that. And players are making really good steps in that. To give one example, 6 months ago, if Ross played on the right side, he never came to a shot with his left foot. He never did that. He never did it the years before. But we've been working on that last couple of months a lot. He's been working on that. He's really conscious about it. He's very motivated about that. And that's why he get the good shots also in Kiev against the post, because it's getting more and more natural. But this is a process that takes time. And we are with all the players, with everybody doing different things around that next to the collective trainings. Of course, Václav is somebody who's experienced and who went to this trajectory already in the past to become a better player. And so I hope to get a few more like that in, and it makes life of everybody easier. Yeah.
I think it's understandable that finance has been mentioned with the Champions League group stages, but as you said yourself, you're not an accountant, it's the same for players. Is it as much about prestige rather than pound notes for this football club to get in Champions League group stages?
Yeah, but of course, and it's in the first place as a player, as a manager, it's about competing against the best. That's why I always like to be in the Champions League when it was as a player or as a manager after. It's the nicest place to be. It's also the most challenging place for your players also, because they can compete against the best and all the spotlights of the world are on them. So yeah, of course, that's the main thing. As a club, of course, you need to look at both, and you need to look at the exposure and the tradition and to want to be there. But the finance are really important in football, and I think this club knows this really well after what happened 12 years ago. So it's a really important thing to keep a good balance in those things, and not to make silly faults that you come into trouble. So the club is very, very conscious about that. I know that. And together we want to create a really good story, a strong story for the future. But it's not a story that you can write in 3-4 weeks. That we know, that they know, everybody knows. So we're working hard on that. So the Champions League can help to make the story go faster.
Okay. Just last one.
You spoke on Saturday post-match about how pleased you were with the team defending the transition phase of the game. Does that carry even more emphasis looking ahead to tomorrow night?
Yes, it's going to be crucial because they're lethal in that. They're really fast, very good technical players. Fanat also is a striker who finds depth fast, but you have also infiltrations of the midfielders, the wingers, even the fullbacks. So yes, it's a team you need to be on your toes all the time. You need to be switched on all the time. Otherwise you get into trouble. But those are the top games, and the players need to be ready for that and to be switched on for these evenings. And I hope the fans help in that way also to push us through the difficult moments.